But first, we begin with a story that's continuing to make headlines around the world, but at this point is hardly a blip on the media's radar screen here in the United States. While the mainstream media has lined its shows with the wall-to-wall coverage of President Trump and the threat of impeachment, there are massive protests breaking out worldwide that have, in many areas, turned deadly. That's Iraq, where at least 5 people have been killed in what protests that started in Baghdad and at this point have now spread throughout the entire country, with people at this point angry about unemployment and corruption and the abysmal public services being offered by the government. Hundreds of people have been injured in the protests that are being called the largest display of public outrage against Iraqi Prime Minister Adel Abdul Mahdi's year-old government. And in Haiti, the violence continues there as well. I believe that was Port-au-Prince. As protesters continue to clash with police, you're just seeing some of the images coming out of the capital city, where Haitians have been protesting the widespread fuel and food shortages throughout the island, a free-falling economy, high inflation, and corruption allegations against government officials, including the island's beleaguered president, Jovenel Moise. Well, last night on this program, Rick spoke with a UCLA professor who's an expert in Haiti about why the United States, and specifically the Clintons, have had a hand in pushing Haiti to this breaking point.
To think about Haiti in terms only of these specific crises, to actually completely ignore the continuous role over 200 years of U.S. imperialism in Haiti. What's happening now is a severe gas shortage that people are protesting against. They're protesting against this gas shortage because the president is trying to raise gas prices. But this also means the president is being forced to raise gas prices because the IMF is asking the president to get rid of subsidies.
Haiti to Peru, where thousands of protesters are demonstrating in the country's capital of Lima following President Martin Vizcarra's decision to dissolve Peru's Congress. That's right, to dissolve the entire Congress, prompting a fight for power and control of the country. Vizcarra has called for a new parliamentary election to be held within 4 months, but Peru's congressional president declared instead the temporary removal of Vizcarra, throwing the country into political chaos and uncertainty. And in Paris, the so-called Yellow Vest movement has now stretched into the 46th week, with large-scale protests by those angry about the country's high cost of living and rising fuel prices. Wow, look at that. And finally, we turn to Hong Kong, and this is a story that has been reported. And of course, the battle between protesters and police there, that also continues now into the 6th month. That's right, 6 months of this violence, a fight that has grown increasingly violent. In fact, police, and you may have heard about this, we've reported about this here on RT, police shot an 18-year-old protester in the chest, spurring anger and outrage, fueling the fire of public and political discontent. Thousands have been injured, with really no end on the horizon, a horizon that's been clouded in many parts of the city with smoke and tear gas. Hong Kong's police chief said the 70th anniversary of Communist Party rule in China was one of Hong Kong's most violent and chaotic days.
First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Much respect to the brothers laboring in this truth worldwide. Yeah, and in the opening clip, just seen what uproars of the people around the world. And this is being prophesied in the Holy Bible that these things would happen. You know, scripture say it's for a appointed time. Said it will not tarry, but in the end it will speak, right? So this is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 9 and verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. So we're going to read some of the signs of the end of the world that Yahweh Shah said for us to look for, in us measuring the time diligently, right? Verse 3, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world. So we've seen a multitude of earthquakes and a multitude of uproars of people in the world. Now he said these things will be consistent and running together, right? Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning, right? Like, matter of fact, let's get that right quick, because he declares the end from the beginning, right? So Yahweh Shah, he declares what? The end from the beginning. This is Isaiah 46 and 10, declaring the end from the beginning and from ancient times to things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure, right? Let's go back to 2nd Ezra 9. As Yahweh Shah is going to do all his pleasure. Verse 3 again, therefore when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning, right? For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is made manifest, even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings in wonders and powerful works, and endings in effects and signs. So the ending is being made manifest with the effects and signs, right? Let's go to Habakkuk 2. Right? This is Habakkuk 2 and 1. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower. I will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord Yahweh Shah answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, right? So back, let's say 40 years ago, the different things weren't made manifest, so the vision wasn't clear. But now the vision is becoming clear. It says, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Just like the RFID chip being a mark of the beast, being made clear now, because at an appointed time, it says, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, right? It will not tarry. It's not gonna tarry, man. You know, it's gonna come. So this is the book of Matthew, chapter 24. I'm gonna start at verse 3. As he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? So the disciples were inquiring when this rulership is going to be over with, right? And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying that I am anointed, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. Right? You got rumors of wars going on right now, man. Between Iraq, Iran, and United States. You got North Korea backing out of talks, saying that the U.S. government is misrepresenting their stance. So you got these rumors of wars going on right now, right? See, ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass. But the end is not yet. For a nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famine and pestilence and earthquakes in divers places. All these are the beginning of sorrows, right? All these are the beginning of sorrows, man. It's just, the timeline that Yahushua laid out for all these things to play out. Though it tarry, wait for it. It will not tarry. What's gonna come, right? This is 2nd Ezra, chapter 15, verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands, and there shall be sedition among men, invading one another. They shall not regard the kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power, right? A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. So, these different protests, man, is going to cause martial law in those different countries. And it's just beginning of sorrows, prophesied by who? Yahushua, as he declared the end from the beginning. Lord willing, it's been edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushua, by Hashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and much respect to the brothers laboring in this truth worldwide to wake up the elect children of Israel. Till the next time, I say Shalom.